The black-eyed children phenomenon is a modern urban legend that has its roots in a series of real-life encounters reported in the late 1990s. The story centers around eerie, unsettling experiences with mysterious children who have entirely black eyes and are often described as having an otherworldly and malevolent presence. One of the most infamous accounts involves a man named Brian Bethel, a journalist from Abilene, Texas. In 1996, Bethel recounted a chilling encounter that would become one of the defining stories of the black-eyed children phenomenon. Bethel was sitting in his car, parked outside a movie theater, when two children, a boy and a girl, approached him. They appeared to be around 10 to 14 years old and asked for a ride to their home. What was initially unsettling about the children was their insistence on being let into Bethel's car. As the conversation progressed, Bethel noticed that their eyes were entirely black, with no whites or irises. The children seemed to exude a strange, unnatural aura, and Bethel felt an overwhelming sense of dread. He felt an inexplicable compulsion to drive away immediately and did so, without questioning further. Over the years, other similar encounters have been reported, with witnesses describing black-eyed children as having pitch-black eyes and a disturbing sense of urgency. These children typically appear in pairs and are often seen asking for help or trying to gain entry into homes or vehicles. The requests are usually accompanied by a sense of unease, and many people report feeling an intense fear or pressure to comply. Witnesses claim that once the children are refused or the encounter is broken off, they quickly disappear. Some believe that these children are not human but rather malevolent entities or supernatural beings. The black-eyed children phenomenon remains unexplained and has become a popular subject in paranormal circles and horror fiction. The combination of the unsettling appearance of the children, their disturbing behavior, and the eerie sense of dread they evoke makes this story particularly chilling. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, the accounts of encounters with black-eyed children are unsettling and serve as a reminder of how fear of the unknown can manifest in our everyday lives. The idea that such encounters could be more than mere coincidence continues to haunt those who hear the stories. After Brian Bethel's initial encounter, the legend of the black-eyed children began to spread, with other reports emerging from different parts of the United States and beyond. People began sharing their own unsettling experiences, all fitting a disturbing pattern. One of the more gripping stories comes from Kathy Davis, a resident of a small town in Ohio. In 2008, Kathy reported an encounter with two black-eyed children late at night. Kathy was at home alone, preparing for bed, when she heard a loud knock at the door. When she answered, she was confronted by a boy and a girl, both looking around 12 years old. They stood on her doorstep, their expressions vacant and their eyes completely black. They asked to come inside to use the phone, claiming their car had broken down. Kathy noticed the strange, unsettling feeling that accompanied their presence. Despite their polite requests, there was something inherently menacing about their demeanor. She felt an overwhelming urge to keep them out, and so, she firmly refused. The children became increasingly insistent, their tone turning more demanding. When Kathy continued to refuse, the children's behavior grew more erratic. They began to pound on the door and shout angrily, their voices taking on a distorted, echoing quality. Terrified, Kathy retreated into the house, locking all doors and windows. The commotion outside eventually stopped, and when she mustered the courage to look outside, the children had vanished without a trace. As more accounts surfaced, certain patterns emerged. Witnesses often reported feeling an intense sense of dread, a compelling urge to let the children in, and a general feeling of something being profoundly wrong. The black-eyed children's eyes, described as completely black or sometimes appearing as a void, seemed to evoke an instinctive fear in those who encountered them. Some reports suggested that the children's behavior was not just strange but almost hypnotic. People felt an overwhelming compulsion to obey them, despite their better judgment. This led to theories that the black-eyed children might be supernatural entities, or even extraterrestrial beings with an ability to influence human emotions and actions. The legend of the black-eyed children gained even more traction in the realm of pop culture and paranormal investigation. Documentaries, books, and horror stories began to explore the phenomenon, fueling both fascination and fear. The idea of these malevolent entities, with their unsettling appearance and eerie demands, became a source of collective anxiety. Paranormal investigators and enthusiasts began to study the phenomenon more closely, seeking to understand if there was a rational explanation or if the encounters were purely supernatural. Despite numerous investigations and theories, no definitive answers emerged. The stories of the black-eyed children remained elusive, wrapped in mystery and fear. The fear surrounding the black-eyed children continues to be a compelling and disturbing part of modern folklore. Whether the encounters are the result of mass hysteria, psychological phenomena, or something truly otherworldly, they have left a lasting impression on those who hear the stories. The notion of these children, appearing out of nowhere with their pitch-black eyes and eerie presence, serves as a chilling reminder of how fear of the unknown can manifest in unsettling ways. For those who have had the misfortune to encounter them, and for those who simply hear the stories, the legend of the black-eyed children remains a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk just beyond the threshold. The encounter of James and Emily. In 2010, a couple named James and Emily, living in a rural area of New England, experienced a harrowing encounter that left them both deeply shaken. It was a cold autumn evening when they heard a knock at their door around midnight. Expecting it to be a late-night visitor, James cautiously approached the door while Emily stayed behind, a sense of unease creeping in. When James opened the door, he was greeted by two children, one boy and one girl, standing on the doorstep. They looked to be around 10 years old and were dressed in clothes that seemed slightly outdated, almost as if from a different era. Their eyes were entirely black, and their expressions were eerily blank. They asked to come in, saying they had been separated from their parents and needed help. James, feeling a wave of inexplicable fear and discomfort, tried to keep the conversation polite but firm. He refused to let them in, stating it was too late and he didn't know them. The children's demeanor shifted abruptly. They became more insistent and aggressive, their voices taking on a strange, echoing quality. The boy began to bang on the door, while the girl stood silently, her eyes fixed on James with an unnerving intensity. Emily, sensing something was wrong, joined James at the door. She reported feeling an almost suffocating dread and an overwhelming urge to let the children in, despite her rational mind screaming to keep them out. The couple locked the door and turned off the porch light, but the children continued to stand there, staring into the windows with their unsettling, black eyes. After what felt like an eternity, the children suddenly vanished. James and Emily, terrified, checked the yard and surrounding area but found no sign of the children. The entire encounter lasted only a few minutes, but it left them both deeply shaken. They later discovered that their home had no prior reports of any similar incidents in the area, and there were no missing children reported nearby. The accounts of these eerie encounters have sparked various theories and investigations. Paranormal researchers and skeptics alike have tried to uncover the truth behind these disturbing stories. Supernatural entities. Some believe that the black-eyed children are supernatural beings or entities. These theories suggest that the children might be demons or spirits, perhaps trying to gain access to human homes for nefarious purposes. The black eyes are often interpreted as a sign of their true, malevolent nature. Psychological phenomena. Skeptics argue that the reports might be a result of psychological phenomena such as mass hysteria, shared delusions, or even the influence of popular culture. The fear and anxiety surrounding these encounters could be amplified by suggestive media and urban legends. Extraterrestrial hypotheses. Another theory posits that the black-eyed children might be extraterrestrial beings or hybrids. The unsettling appearance and behavior of the children could be interpreted as evidence of otherworldly origins or experiments. Cultural impact. The black-eyed children legend has also been influenced by various horror stories, movies, and internet culture. The blending of real-life accounts with fictional elements could contribute to the perpetuation of these frightening stories. Despite numerous investigations and theories, the truth behind the black-eyed children remains elusive. The combination of chilling encounters, eerie descriptions, and the persistent sense of dread associated with these stories has cemented their place in modern folklore. The black-eyed children phenomenon continues to capture the imagination of those who hear the stories. Whether viewed as genuine paranormal encounters or as a reflection of deeper psychological fears, the legend serves as a stark reminder of the unsettling possibilities that lurk just beyond our understanding. The mystery of the black-eyed children persists, leaving a legacy of fear and fascination for those drawn to the unknown. The reemergence of the black-eyed children. As the legend of the black-eyed children spread, it began to attract more attention from both amateur paranormal investigators and seasoned professionals. The stories of encounters became more frequent and varied, with reports coming from different parts of the world, adding layers of complexity and intrigue to the phenomenon. In 2013, Robert and Susan, a couple living in a suburban neighborhood, reported a particularly unsettling encounter that would become one of the most talked about cases in recent years. One evening, after returning home from a dinner party, they noticed two children standing at the edge of their driveway. The children, a boy and a girl, appeared to be around 8 and 10 years old, respectively. The couple initially felt a sense of pity, thinking the children might be lost or in need of assistance. However, as they approached, they were struck by the children's entirely black eyes and the unsettling aura that surrounded them. The children asked to use the phone, claiming they had been separated from their parents. Despite their polite demeanor, Robert and Susan felt a profound sense of dread. Robert, trying to be courteous, asked where their parents were. The children's response was disjointed and vague. Susan noticed that the boy's behavior was particularly strange. He seemed to be scanning the area around them as if searching for something. The feeling of unease grew stronger, and Robert and Susan decided to close the door and call the authorities. However, when they looked out again, the children had vanished. The local police were unable to find any trace of the children, and no reports of missing kids matched their description. The incident left Robert and Susan deeply shaken, and they reported ongoing feelings of being watched and a persistent sense of anxiety in the weeks following the encounter. The black-eyed children have had a significant impact on popular culture, influencing horror fiction, films, and internet lore. Stories about these unsettling entities have appeared in various media, including books and articles. Numerous books and articles have been published exploring the black-eyed children phenomenon. Authors have used the legend as a basis for fictional works or investigative reports, further perpetuating the mystery and fear. Films and TV shows. The eerie nature of the black-eyed children has inspired several horror films and TV shows. Their presence in popular culture helps to maintain and amplify the legend, adding to the sense of dread and fascination. Online communities. The internet has played a significant role in spreading and evolving the black-eyed children legend. Forums, social media, and horror websites have become platforms where people share their own experiences, discuss theories, and delve into the lore. The continued interest in the black-eyed children has led to new investigations and theories. Paranormal researchers have conducted investigations and attempted to track down more information about reported sightings. Some believe that the spread of these stories is a form of modern folklore, evolving with each retelling and adding new elements to the mythos. Skeptics argue that the stories might be a product of collective imagination or psychological phenomena. The consistency in the descriptions and the eerie nature of the encounters could be influenced by suggestive media and the power of suggestion. The black-eyed children legend continues to captivate and terrify those who encounter it. The idea that these entities, whether real or a product of collective fear, can appear at any time and demand entry into one's home taps into deep-seated anxieties about vulnerability and the unknown. For those who have had direct encounters or heard the stories, the fear of the black-eyed children remains a powerful and unsettling force. The phenomenon serves as a modern myth that bridges the gap between traditional horror and contemporary fears, keeping the legend alive and potent in the collective imagination. Whether as a genuine supernatural mystery or a compelling urban legend, the black-eyed children continue to be a source of fascination and dread. Their presence in folklore, media, and personal experiences ensures that their story remains one of the most eerie and enduring in modern horror. The case of Emily and Mark. In 2016, Emily and Mark, a young couple living in a quiet town in the Midwest, experienced a chilling encounter with two black-eyed children that would have a profound impact on their lives. The couple had been enjoying a peaceful evening at home when they heard a series of knocks at their front door. It was well past midnight, and they were not expecting any visitors. When Emily answered the door, she was confronted by two children, a boy and a girl, both appearing to be around 12 years old. Their eyes were completely black, and their expressions were vacant. The children asked to be let inside, claiming they were lost and needed to use the phone. Emily, despite feeling a strong sense of dread, tried to remain calm and asked where their parents were. The children's answers were disjointed and nonspecific. Emily and Mark decided to call the police, feeling increasingly uncomfortable. They told the children they couldn't let them in and that help was on the way. The children's behavior grew more urgent and aggressive. They began to demand entry, their voices growing louder and more insistent. The couple noticed that the children seemed to be staring at them with an unnatural intensity. When the police arrived, the children had vanished. An extensive search of the area yielded no sign of them. Emily and Mark reported feeling an overwhelming sense of fear and paranoia in the days following the encounter. They began to experience unsettling phenomena in their home, such as strange noises and objects moving on their own. They eventually moved to a different town, hoping to escape the lingering fear. Theories and investigations. The phenomenon of the black-eyed children has continued to intrigue both paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics. Here are some recent theories and investigations that have emerged. Psychological and sociological explanations. Some researchers suggest that the black-eyed children phenomenon might be a form of collective psychological experience. The power of suggestion, combined with the influence of media and folklore, could lead people to interpret unusual encounters or fears through the lens of this urban legend. Paranormal investigations. Various paranormal investigators have conducted investigations into the black-eyed children phenomenon. These investigations often involve reviewing reports, interviewing witnesses, and analyzing any available evidence. However, concrete proof remains elusive, and the lack of physical evidence has led some to question the validity of the accounts. Cultural reflections. The black-eyed children could also be seen as a reflection of modern fears and anxieties. The stories tap into deep-seated fears of intrusion, vulnerability, and the unknown. The unsettling appearance and behavior of the black-eyed children might symbolize broader cultural anxieties about what lies beyond our understanding. The legend of the black-eyed children persists, evolving with each new account and each retelling. The fear and fascination surrounding these entities have kept the stories alive, contributing to their status as a modern horror myth. The combination of unsettling encounters, the eerie nature of the children's appearance, and the sense of dread associated with them ensures that their story continues to captivate and terrify. The black-eyed children have become a significant part of modern folklore, with their stories being shared widely across social media, horror websites, and popular culture. Their legacy serves as a reminder of how urban legends and modern myths can capture our collective imagination, blending real-life fears with supernatural elements. For those who have experienced encounters with the black-eyed children or those who simply hear the stories, the phenomenon remains a chilling and enigmatic part of the contemporary horror landscape. The black-eyed children continue to be a symbol of the unknown and the unsettling, their presence a haunting reminder of the dark possibilities that lie just beyond the edges of our understanding. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you liked this story. The ongoing impact and cultural resonance. As the years have passed, the legend of the black-eyed children has only grown, influencing a wide range of media and sparking continued debate among both believers and skeptics. Their stories have become a staple of contemporary horror folklore, a symbol of our collective fears about the unknown and the inexplicable. In 2019, a particularly alarming incident added to the mystique of the black-eyed children. A family of 4 from a rural area in Pennsylvania disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Their home was found in disarray, with no sign of struggle but an overwhelming sense of dread lingering in the air. The family had reported a strange visit from 2 children just days before their disappearance. The children, described as having entirely black eyes and an unsettling demeanor, had appeared at the family's door, claiming they needed help. Despite the family's best efforts to assist them, the encounter left them feeling uneasy. Shortly after, the family vanished, leaving behind only questions and a growing sense of fear in the community. Despite extensive searches and investigations, no trace of the family was ever found. The case remains unresolved, adding a chilling chapter to the black-eyed children legend. The incident has become a subject of intense speculation and fear, with some linking the disappearance to the eerie visit from the mysterious children. The black-eyed children continue to spark debate and intrigue. Some argue that the stories are a modern urban legend, fueled by a combination of psychological phenomena, cultural influences, and the power of suggestion. Skeptics point out that there is no concrete evidence to support the existence of these entities, and that the reports may be the result of misinterpretations, exaggerations, or even hoaxes. On the other hand, the persistence of these accounts, the consistency of the descriptions, and the profound impact on those who have experienced them suggest that there may be more to the stories than mere fiction. The fear and anxiety that accompany these encounters resonate deeply with those who hear them, adding to the legend's enduring power. The legacy of the black-eyed children is a powerful reminder of how folklore and urban legends can capture the imagination and evoke deep-seated fears. The stories of these eerie, enigmatic entities tap into our anxieties about intrusion, the unknown, and the boundaries of reality. Whether viewed as genuine supernatural phenomena or as compelling modern myths, the black-eyed children have left an indelible mark on contemporary horror and popular culture. Their stories continue to be shared, discussed, and explored, ensuring that their place in the annals of urban legend remains secure. For those who have encountered them or heard their tales, the black-eyed children are a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk just beyond our understanding. Their presence serves as a chilling symbol of the fears that lie at the edge of our consciousness, making them a lasting and unsettling part of modern folklore. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you liked this story.